Hello everyone, welcome to this Club Guide video for the Club Oceania tournament. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and here in this video I'm going to go through the Rookie Division, I'm going to go through Pro and Expert Division, and also Master Division for you. And first and foremost, we're going to start with Rookie Division. And if you do want to get some specific help for Rookie Division, and then you can get to check out patreon.com/golfclashtommy. So, Rookie Division, we're going to have holes for Namhe Cliffs, Gokasha Bay, and Oasis. Namhe Cliffs you can find on tour number 5, which is the World Links. If you do want to search for the Oasis holes, you can search for that on tour number 4, which is a 6-star hotel. When it comes to the Gokasha Bay, which is hole number 2 and hole number 3, you can't find them in the tour play. They are not available on tour 3, which is otherwise the Rookie Division for Asia Pacific. That is the tour name. So you can only find them on tour number 8. If you do want to see how it's played, you check out the playlist for Rookie Division here on the channel for the Club Oceania tournament. So, hole number 1, we start off with the Namhe Cliffs par 4. We do have the big topper and the backbone here as a suggestion, and it all depends on how we're going to play it, you know. If having an upgraded extra mile, then I would consider that one to be a good play as well, because that would allow you to not go with overpower. The reason I'm using the big topper here is to use that one on the island, and it mostly talks to you that have a low level quarterback, doesn't have the extra mile in, maybe more than level 1, but you have unlock the big topper and have it like in maybe level 1 or level 2. Then you do have an enormous amount of topspin with the big topper. Have in mind, don't use it all. Use like a 4 or 5 bars of topspin to put yourself on the green. Otherwise, if you have other wind that you will not be able to reach for the green, and you might not have the clubs to go for the island, then go on the right side and we'll play with a long iron. Then the backbone is my suggestion. Hole number 2 is Viper time for us here. Even though it's a par 5, we do want to go with control, accuracy and ball guide. And then the Viper is basically the daughter or the son to the sniper, in my opinion. So the Viper is one of the first clubs that you actually do unlock when it comes to the common clubs. And here we need to just be focused on bouncing over the rough or a drive, and check out the video for that one. Then we're going to have to either a long iron or a wood club for the pin. Most likely a wood club, and then the Viper is going to be there for the rough bump. Hole number 3, the backbone or the Viper. I would say the backbone will be the most featured here. And now I said Viper. I would say pick both backbone and Viper if you have them in your bag. You go with either the long iron to bounce on the tip of the fairway, to bounce yourself with 2 bounces towards the green, or you go with the Viper to go a little bit further down using the backspin of the Viper. Have in mind, if you're not having more than 5-6 bars of backspin, then you go with the long iron every single time on the tip of the fairway. Hole number 4, now it's time to pull off the big dog. And the big dog is, as you know, most featured when it comes to par 5s. And we didn't use it on hole 2, but here on hole 4, on the Namhe Cliffs, we're definitely going to use that. Because if you're playing it to lay up on the island, or you're playing it on the left side, you will need to have distance to the pin. And we don't want to find ourselves in a situation where we need to overpower with a low-level Viper, low-level Hammerhead or Sniper. So then we take the big dog. Hole number 5, this is a hole where we are going to play with our short iron. So this is going to be the Thorn or the Hornet for hole number 5 instead of the backbone. So have that in mind. Thorn and Hornet and for hole number 5, which is going to allow you to bounce over the bunker. This is one of the few holes where you're actually going to play with the short iron for a par 3. Hole number 6, here we come with the backbone because we're going to go for the rough bump. Many of the times we're going to find ourselves after the drive with a long iron towards the pin, and then the backbone is the club to go with there. Hole number 7, here we come and go with the big dog or the Viper. It depends on which type of ball you're actually going to play with, and also if you're going to go for a rough bump or not. So decide that before you go into the hole. If you're going to go for the rough bump, then I would say the big dog with a power 1 ball or the Viper with a power 3 ball. If you're going to go for the bounce on the fairway, then you can play with whatever ball you like and whatever wood club you want with at least 3.5 bar of backspin. Hole number 8, the Thorn or the Hornet here. That is because we're going to play up on the right side, trying to give ourselves an open shot to the pin. And then it's going to be a short iron that we're going to play with. So have that in mind. And also when it comes to having some tailwind, then we play left side, try to go for green. Hole number 9. Time for the big dog to be unleashed. Unleashed. So we will most likely have some distance on this particular hole if we're not having a lot of tailwind here. And also if you're bouncing it over the water, then you will be playing with another wood club or maybe a long iron depending on the ball that you're using, also the wind. But if having to play up on the right, then you will have a big dog for the second shot. So let's go to Pro and Expert Division. And Pro and Expert Division is exactly, again, it's the same hole, but you're playing from the second tee instead of the first tee as you do in Rookie. And that is something that we'll need to have in mind while going into that, because the club, of course, is going to be different, and the length is going to be different on the hole as well. So we're going to start off with hole number 1. Here I do suggest backbone or the Goliath. The reason I'm not suggesting a driver is because if you're having tailwind, you can reach over with whatever driver you actually have, because you're going to have more than 3.5 bar of top spin on your drive. So if you're going to play up safe on the right side, if you're having headwind or some strong crosswind, then backbone or Goliath is the clubs to go with there. Hole number 2, it's time for the rough bump again. Hole number 2, it's the sniper, and then of course put a long iron in your bag that gives you some good accuracy in ball guide as well if you're going too long with your drive. Otherwise the sniper, perfect. Hole number 3, part 3, then we're going to go with the Guardian or we're going to go with the sniper. Depending on the ball that you're using, you might going to be playing with a long iron from the tip of the fairway, but most of the times it's going to be a long iron or a wood club, and then the Guardian or the sniper is the suggestion here. The sniper, especially if you're going for the tip, the Guardian if you're going to go max backspin in that hole, just in between the bunkers on top. Hole number 4, here it depends on how you want to play it. Either you do want to have a sniper because you do have an upgraded sniper in level 9, level 10 at least, and if you're not having that, maybe having a sniper level 5, level 6, level 7, then I would say go with a club with distance instead. So you not find yourself in a situation where you will have to overpower your shot for the second shot. That is not something that we do want, so have that in mind. So sniper or the Cataclysm for this one. Hole number 5, here we're going to play in 99 out of 100 times with a long iron. And then I suggest the Goliath here to give ourselves the distance to actually play with the long iron all of the time. Otherwise the backbone will work well, the Saturn will work well as well. As you can see in the video guide, I do use Saturn myself, which work perfectly. Have in mind to not use too much backspin on this hole. Hole number 6, we're going to play with the Thorn or the Hornet here, because the difference between Rookie Division and Pro and Expert is that now we do have a driver that's going to reach a bit further for us, and then we're most likely going to have a short iron to the pin. Then the Thorn or the Hornet, depending on what you are preferring to go with, is the play. Hole number 7, here I do list the quarterback, and the quarterback I would love to have maxed here. Because that backspin will allow us to bounce on the fairway or going for the rough bump. If not having a quarterback with the maxed out with the max backspin, like the 72 I think it is in backspin for the quarterback, then use the rocket if you want to bounce. Otherwise the quarterback works perfectly on hole number 7. Hole number 8, we do have the Hornet and the Thorn here. Again, we're going to play ourselves up on the right side. If we're having any other type of wind than tailwind, and we're going to ship it in from distance. Hole number 9, the Guardian and the Cataclysm. And here it all depends again on what you value. If you're going to have some tailwind for this hole, then I actually could say the Guardian would be better because of the backspin. Because we're going to still have some distance with the Guardian. The Cataclysm gives us the top spin, of course, which we are not having with the Guardian. So if we're having some headwind and risk going a bit short, then the Cataclysm could be the club to go with, or the big dog, depending if you have any of them upgraded enough. But the Guardian would work well. I like to go with max backspin directly on the green with this hole if playing myself with a very good drive. So, Pro and Expert Division, and you can practice the holes on Pro and Expert Division. The Namhe Cliffs you can find on tour number 10, the World Links Pro. And if it comes to the Gokasho Bay, now you can practice those on Asia Pacific Pro, which is turn number 8, and Oasis that you can find on 6-star Hotel Pro, which is turn number 9. So last but not least, the master, and let's go with hole number 1. First, we can say we're playing from 30, which is not going to be able to practice on any tour because no tour is allowing us to play from the first tee. Hole number 1 is the B52 or the Goliath. When you're playing Master, you most likely have the B52 in level 5, level 6, level 7, and that is a killer club, especially in level 7, easy to adjust for. If having some tailwind here, we could pull out a Berserker ball and try to bounce on the island. I hope we will get the win for it. Then we're going to see player going into the water, but also players to making the green. Hole number 2 with the Guardian or the Sniper. It depends on how far you reach on the fairway on top, but most likely player going to play with a wind 5 ball. If we're going to have tailwind especially, or a side wind, that will put ourselves in a situation where we will reduce distance with our clubs, and then we're going to play with a wood club. Then the Sniper in my opinion, but the Guardian for max backspin on the green works absolutely well as well. Hole number 3, here is the Rocket or the quarterback here. Quarterback if you're going to play from the tip of the fairway, and the Rocket if you're going to bounce with max backspin towards the pin. Depends on how you want to play it. I will most likely going to go for the tip of the fairway to bounce to the green. Depends on the wind. Hole 4, Nami Cliffs par 5. Here we have had 2 times like a crazy amount of tailwind, so we have been able to bounce it on the island with max topspin going actually to the green. So if we're getting that, then it doesn't matter which type of wood club we have. But if we're not having that and we need to lay up on the island or we need to go on the left side, then it depends on what you do value. If you do want to play on the left side, I would suggest you go with a club with more distance than the Sniper. So you gain those 8 yards that you otherwise lose. Otherwise, if you do play with a ball that gives you enough distance combined with enough topspin on your driver, then the Sniper absolutely to give you that accuracy and the ball guide that we all want in general. Hole number 5, here we're going to play with a wood club in many of the cases. The Sniper is the only club for me here. And use a wind 5 ball, especially if you're having some tailwind here. Pay attention of how the ball will bounce, or not pulling ourselves to bounce over and rolling down from the green, having ourselves to have a very, very hard putt. Hole number 6, the Hornet or the Thorn. This hole is played exactly the same way as you're playing in Pro and Expert. Last time we had this hole, we had some tailwind. People tried to go for green, but the bounce was very irregular. So have that in mind if you're getting the tailwind here. That sure, you can try it, but sometimes you will go into the water even though you make a perfect drive. The Hornet and the Thorn to go for the rough bump. Hole number 7, here's the Thor's Hammer or the Rocket. The Rocket here to bounce it over to the pin. Then you need to use a ball with some power, at least a power 3 ball. I would say power 4 ball, like a dual ball, could be good as well. Hole number 7 otherwise is designed for the Thor's Hammer in my opinion. So if you have the Thor's Hammer level 3, level 4, level 5 plus, then the Thor's Hammer is the club to go with. Hole number 8, the Hornet or the Thorn. Here again we're going to play ourselves many of the times up on the right side and chip it in from distance. If having some tailwind, we can try to go with a Berserker on the left side. Stay away from shooting it in the drink. Hole number 9, here is exactly the same thing as we had in Pro and Expert, Guardian or Cataclysm. It depends on which type of wind we're going to get in my opinion. And also if you do want to bounce it onto the green, or you want to go with max backspin on the green. So the wind decides a lot, but in the end the Guardian with being upgraded will give you 179 yards if you have it max upgraded, and 180 yards of the Cataclysm, so that is no big difference. The difference is the topspin that you do have on the Cataclysm that you don't have on a Guardian. Hooah! So this was the club guides for a rookie, Pro and Expert and Master. And if you do have any questions, please make a comment in the comment section below. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and I want here in the end to wish you the best of luck in the Club Oceania tournament.